for survivors in particular, it's remembering that you did not cause this. You did not bring this on yourself. You are not to blame for the abuse and the violence that you experienced, and that you are worthy of love. You are worthy of a healthy relationship, that you are courageous, that you can have confidence in yourself, that you can accomplish your big goals and your big dreams. So I think one of the things that I learned very early on in my life is I may not be in control of the things that have happened around me or have happened to me, but I am in control of how I respond to that. And I am in control of what happens next. And so I always think about that. You need to, validate for yourself and validate for others what they're feeling. And I say this to my children, I say this to my coworkers, like, I want you to feel what you feel. Like, nobody is here to prescribe to you what that should be. Like, you're entitled to feel what you're feeling. And then let's talk about it. Like, let's talk through it and let's figure out what are our possible solutions? What are the outcomes that we are after? So Newhouse is Kansas City's first and oldest domestic violence shelter. We celebrated our 50-year anniversary last year. We provide emergency services to people of all genders, all races, all cultural and ethnic backgrounds who have experienced domestic violence in some way. Statistically, people assign a label to survivors or victims of domestic violence as women, and actually that's not just the case. So 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men will experience some form of domestic violence in their lifetime. And I'm so proud that Newhouse is there to provide critical services to people. There's only 342 beds for survivors of domestic violence in our community, and Newhouse provides 88 of those beds. So when people come to us, they are stepping out of danger, they're stepping into safety, and they're stepping into a circle of support or an ecosystem of transformative services that allow them to achieve safety, self-sufficiency, and ultimately whole person healing. I know what it meant to me to have someone who understood me. And that's what I want us to be known best for at Newhouse. That's what I want our legacy to be. I don't want to do it like everybody's done it for the last 40 years. There's just this recidivism that happens because we aren't getting to the root of the problem. And that's my focus. And we at Newhouse are going to be soon launching what's called a community activation team to focus on our bigger vision, which is to solve the problems that are at the groundwater level within our community, or be a part of the solution. We can't solve them on our own, but we want to raise attention to and be part of the solution to solve the groundwater issues that feed the cycle of abuse. There's such inefficiencies in our social services system. It's broken. And we cast people from agency to agency and place to place, and we re-traumatize people by forcing them to retell their story over and over and over again to receive services at a variety of organizations. There's not a way that we can make everybody open up or make them talk about, their experiences. People have to do it when they're ready and how they're ready. And so I just think if we can all imagine ourselves as kind of an incubator of authenticity and an incubator and an encourager of people just being more themselves, that those conversations happen organically and give us an opportunity to share our own story with somebody that helps make a difference in their lives. The best advice that we give to our residents, and that I could, share with each of you this morning, is whether it's 2 minutes, whether it's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you can put into your schedule for you, you've got to start doing that. Asking for help, talking to someone is a strength. It's definitely not a failure. It's definitely not a stigma. The strongest people are the people that can acknowledge that life is hard. Life is hard. The experiences that we've had in our lives are hard. The losses that we've had in our lives are hard. None of us can control when grief is going to show up in our lives, and when we can just be our authentic selves and say, you know what, I'm having a tough day today. And I think it goes back to answering your question, earlier, Randy, is how do we help people feel more comfortable about talking, is being transparent. Like, being transparent is the invitation. We have an obligation to keep learning and to keep experiencing. And I mean, everybody on this call has heard it before and heard it many times. Leadership isn't a destination, it's a journey. And so is your personal growth and development. And every day, the things that you experience, the people that you come in contact with, you interact with, you have something to learn about them, but they teach you something about you too.